Alright, what's up guys? In this video, I'm going to go over the other variations in this Svesh. Hopefully there's no hiccups this time. Specifically talking about hiccups. But alright, let's go over bishop g5. Actually, I think I just did this. Yeah, a4. Let's go over a4 first. So a4 is a sideline, but somewhat popular. I've seen it a couple times. So the first thing you want to know when they go a4 is, okay, at some point you're going to go knight b4, and you're going to have a great piece that's forever here, and you're going to work for d5. d5 is always the big break that you want to work for in the Svesh against passive lines. So now we're going to immediately go a6, knight a3, and we're going to hit bishop g4 immediately. If they go bishop e2, take d5, and black is already chilling here. We're good. Then if f3, we're going to go bishop e6, and we're going to work for d5. Common idea, knight b4. The knight is very safe here. You actually see this in the knight orph a lot, this maneuver. And once again, we're going to eventually work for the d5 break. Queen d6 is a little sus. Alright, so more common, bishop g5, a6. And first, we're going to look at these sideline. Okay, so after a6, if they take on f6 immediately, of course we cannot go queen takes because then they have the fork. So you have to go pawn takes, knight a3. And here, we do not go b5. b5 is a very common move in this Svesh, but here there's a bunch of sacrifices that I've seen in other variations that I don't want to have to deal with. So that's why here, after knight a3 early, bishop takes f6 early, we do not have to go b5, we just go f5 immediately. Now, a couple of variations to know here. Okay, so if they go bishop c4, their threat is queen h5. Queen h5 is a threat. Boom. So here we go queen g5, because this will prevent queen h5 and it hits g2. Whenever this bishop moves, you want to look for pressure on g2. Okay, so that's the first step. Now let's say that, for example, they go bishop d3. Now here there's no pressure on f7, so queen h5 is not a threat. So here we don't go queen g5, we actually go rook g8. And here black has a very okay, I wouldn't say simple. Like g3 d5 is not for the faint of heart, but it's a cool move and you can get away with a lot. You can also do f takes. You just play in the center. This is the safe way to play. Like here, and go for d5. This is already winning. And bishop takes, bishop e6, and go for d5. And we're already happy here. Okay. So bishop d3, bishop c4, we're good. Knight c4, I'll show you some lines. We have knight d4. c3 is the most common. I've gotten this maybe twice or three times. And you go g5 and you hit the center and you have a fantastic attack here. Like here, we're super happy. So that's against knight c4. Queen h5, we're gonna go for b5 and hit all this. Okay, so these piece sacrifices, this happens a couple times. Okay, fine. It happens in this one, the most common. Always go bishop b7. Just always put the bishop here. I don't know why specifically, but this is the way to go. Probably you can castle queenside faster or something. But whenever they attack on b5, look for bishop b7 in these lines. Yeah, I'm gonna go for d5. Y'all know all this. Okay, so I would say for the most part, this line. Okay, this one is popular. I got it once, maybe twice. King h8 is a very nice prophylactic move here. You want to go f4 and start pushing, but you don't want any discoveries with this and this. So we go king h8 first, and then we start rolling the guys on the other side. So we're very happy with this position. But this one is common, so I would know. So if f5, e takes, bishop takes, just come back and try to go f5, d5. I would say that's the common idea there. Okay, so we got all of the early take on f6 lines. Now the more common is knight a3. So knight a3 here, he has not taken f6 yet, so b5 is going to be the move. Let's look at knight d5 first. Knight d5 is the most common move. So bishop e7, take, and now let's say c4. Okay, so c4. The idea here is you're going to go b4, knight c2, and castle. So if he takes this pawn, the immediate retaliation is queen b6, and you're going to attack all the dark squares here. You're going to see a lot of tactics here. So knight d5, we go queen b2, If he tries to take this, which is very intuitive, and go bishop d3, queen c3 is the reason that black is better here. If he blocks the queen, the rook is hanging, and that's terrible. And if the king moves, okay, we have weak pawns, but he can't castle. Like black is very content here in this position. Okay, so that's against c4, and if they take the pawn. Now, more common is they will go. Okay, there's actually two main variations here. There's g3 and there's bishop e2. Okay, so the way you want to remember this, because it is a bit tricky, it's 50-50, is if they go g3, a very common idea for them is to go f4. That makes sense, right? Because they went g3. So we're going to go a5, protect the pawn now. After you castle, always protect this pawn. Don't lose the pawn. So a5, bishop g2, and here we go bishop g5, castle. And now the question is, okay, we want to get rid of this knight. Do we go knight e7 or do we go bishop e6? So if they fianchetto like this, we will go knight e7. Because f4, f5 is with hella tempos. We don't want to give this away. So like, for example here, okay, f4 we're good. Everything else we're good, and we just play this position, okay? So this is phase 1, black is slightly better, life is good. Now, let's say, for example, he goes bishop e2, a5, remember save the pawn, bishop g5, and let's say, for example, queen d3. Now here, you can already tell, he's not going to go f4, f5, because there's no pawn on g3 to back this guy up. So that is why in this position, we will go bishop e6, because there is no fianchetto with f4. So, if they fianchetto, you go bishop g5, knight e7. If they don't fianchetto, you go bishop g5 and bishop e6. So definitely remember that, because I've been on the wrong side of this a couple times, so it's good to know. And then you just play chess. Always, you never really like sweat this pawn. You'll get it back. You'll have some counterplay. You'll have some counterplay. Like, you're gonna be okay there. Okay. So that's a really big part of the c4 variations. First step is, okay, pawn sack. If he takes it, or he's toast. And then it's, does the bishop go to e2 or does the bishop go to g3? Now the other variation that is really common is c3. So if they go c3, we want to, okay, so what are they trying to do? They are trying to go knight c2, knight e3, and have a strong knight on d5 always. So that is why here we have to get rid of the knight asap. Otherwise we give him time to reinforce, and then he can just stay there and sit. So knight e7, so let's look at knight c2 first. Take, queen takes. This variation is actually a lot of fun. We're going to go rook a7, and then kind of whatever he does, we're going to sack d6, and we're going to pressure this way. So you can do this. These positions are already good. Probably more common is knight b4, bishop b7, and queen a8. This is always a really nice maneuver. Queen takes take, and then this is the only way that he can be okay. And even this position gets very nuts. There's a forced draw, but if he makes one wrong move, he's toast. Like, for example, if he goes king at f1, there's queen takes g2, and everything falls apart. So just believe in the two bishops. You can do a lot with them. Yeah, so if queen takes d5, we're going to go rook a7. I've actually had this position before against like a 16-1700. If they think, oh my god, it's a free pawn, you go rook d7, you just win, because the rook is hanging, they got to sack the queen, and okay, you can do the rest. I've had this game before, so definitely keep in mind that this is a real variation that can happen. Alright, so if c3, we go knight e7, and we just looked at knight c2. Now let's say he takes here. Honestly, the cheat code variation, the absolute cheat code variation, is almost whatever they do. Okay, put pressure on e4 and go d5. And you can just trade it all off, honestly. Like, this endgame, it's a bit tricky. You have to be a little bit careful. But the thing to know is if they castle queenside, then you can castle. If they don't castle and you try to castle queenside, like, what's really dangerous is they can go a4, and they immediately have a lot of pressure against your king. You don't want to have to deal with this. So just remember, if they castle, you castle. If they don't castle, then you just run the king up. Okay? So a really simple way to play. Black easily equalize with some good endgame prospects. Just know, go d5. Alright, so last but not least, I want to go over like just some weird sidelines like knight b1. I've actually had this a couple times too. undefeated record. As you know, I've never lost in this Svesh, so they're all undefeated. So knight b1, we're just going to go with bishop e7. I think it's actually more common with knight d5, take, and here knight b1. Yeah, this is the one that's a bit more common. There's a couple ways you can play against it. The simplest is just castle, and always go b4. Just always know when they go a4. That's the whole idea of knight b1. They want to go a4. You go b4, you develop, and then you try to keep the bishop. If they give you time, you keep the bishop, and then you just play this position. Of course, still work to do, but black can say that, okay, look, I got two bishops. Pawns are kind of weak. I have something to play against. Okay? All right, so pretty much I'm going to go ahead and say that is all the Svesh. Once again, a bunch of lines. Definitely check out the study that is available online to go through the variations, but try to understand the logic a little bit. Like, why am I going b5? Why am I going bishop b7? Why am I going bishop e7? If you can get all that, then you should be good to go. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely check out my other videos on the Sicilian. I've covered literally every variation that you probably will see. And hope you guys are entertained. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.